Gregory.a.howell. It's in the name.
Welcome into the Friday Refresh, brought to you by Howell Wealth Management. Financial security is something that many of us strive to achieve in our lives. Whether you are concerned for your own financial needs or those of your family or your business, Greg Howell can help you with the plan to get on the road to financial security. Contact Greg Howell today at 931-638-1576. That's 931-638-1576, or email him at Gregory.a.howell@nm.com. You've probably heard the concept of the risk-reward ratio. It's way more common a conversation in Greg Howell's occupation than it is mine, but the concept works like this. You simply divide your net profit, the reward, by the price of your maximum risk. If you have a risk-reward ratio of 1.5, it means you're risking $1 to potentially make $5. Then there are times when digits and dollar bills aren't really what's at stake. In 2018, two British men, John Vollathan and Rick Stanton, found themselves weighing risk and reward with much higher stakes than the stock market exchange. 12 boys and their coach were trapped in a flooding cave in Thailand. After traversing much of this cave, almost a mile of flooded caves, which took hours to achieve alone, they located the boys. But it was only a small portion of the task. The problem was attempting to extract these young men out of the flooded cave, knowing that they would experience a great deal of anxiety and panic, having to go through tight spaces, in the dark, underwater, using equipment that was foreign to them. Adults were struggling with it. There was no way all these young kids could manage it. The greatest risk and reward moment happened when they talked to their friends Dr. Harry Harris and Craig Challen into not only diving with them, but giving anesthesia to the boys so that they could be floated unconscious for hours by these men. Giving them anesthesia while underwater for such a long length of time could kill the boys. Their death would be horrific, but the doctors also had to face the reality that they could lose their license. They could receive ridicule from the medical field. Yet remaining in the cave would almost certainly kill the boys. The oxygen level was in the mid-teens and the monsoon season was rolling in. If the boys didn't die from lack of oxygen, starvation or flooding would kill them. After days of planning and preparing, they were able to begin the rescue. To the shock of the world and even the rescuers, every single one of the boys were brought out safely. The reward of the young men living was worth every risk that was taken. It was worth the cost of the flights to get there. It was worth the fields of the locals that was flooded. Even the retired Thai Navy SEAL who lost his life while taking food to the boys days before the final rescue would tell you that the rescue was why he was there and his life was worth the risk. Serving people often comes with risk. Helping someone in need isn't always safe physically, emotionally, or financially. There are ways to minimize the risk, but at the bottom line, a sacrifice isn't a sacrifice until it hurts. It may not be as drastic of a risk as underwater cave diving rescue and immediately are as rewarding as saving 13 lives, but the lives that you impact, plenty of people's lives, will be impacted by your work. The doctors and the divers weren't the only heroes during that event. There were thousands pumping water and digging and feeding and encouraging and praying and giving up their fields to bring those boys out alive. Each one sacrificed time, energy, health, safety, and property. Why? Because the well-being of others was worth the risk. It really should be for us as well. There are plenty of people on the verge of drowning emotionally or running out of spiritual oxygen. They need people who will come to them and help them. Love them where they are. Love them enough not to leave them there. Paul said our people must learn to engage in good deeds, to meet pressing needs, so that they will not be unfruitful. Titus 3:14. Knowing you have changed the world, even if it's just the world of one person, is a reward that's well worth the risk. And that is your Friday Refresh.